Hi there. This is the next tutorial dealing with the question, how can you copy and paste the content that we created in Mahara and Moodle to your own institution. So before that, in our last session, we talked about how the administrator gives access to the students of her or his institution. So each partner has determined an institution administrator who can do that. Each institution has 30 student seats, and well, in the previous session, we showed you how you can give access and how you can administrate your 30 students. In this session, in this following session, we will tackle the task to provide learning content to your students. So we have provided content both on the Mahara and the Moodle sites, and we will show you how you can transport that into your institution. Okay, so how does this work? Actually, we have three learning technology elements. One is the portfolio, the other one is the learning management system, and the last one is the validation system. We will discuss the level 5 validation system as soon as you have all provided content and your learning sections on your Moodle and on your Mahara. So we will concentrate on the left side of this panel, and the portfolio provides a pathway for the practical student projects, so the practical part of the blended learning approach, whereas the Moodle provides, let's say, the knowledge part, the courses for different competence fields, and basically we are going to provide you firstly with the entrepreneurship course and the social, personal, and organizational competences, here especially the intercultural competences, as they will be needed next in the students' exchange. So this is something that we can, that you can already work on and modify in your institution. So to go a little bit more in detail, the Mahara, so the portfolio part, consists of, well, apart from the e-portfolio, the individual ones, it consists of a student group, and in the student group you find a 5-step procedure in which the students can plan, do, and check their projects. It contains as instruments, planning patterns, logbook, report forms, and all that provided in a step-by-step procedure on different websites, or as we say in Mahara, on collections of sites, of web pages. In parallel, there are units, or there are content parts that are related to competence development. So the students can at the same time validate or provide or prepare the validation of competences. So there's an information on level 5, there is a learning suite number 1, a validation grid on entrepreneurial competences provided in the learning suite number 2. So all these materials you find in your groups or in the student groups. The Moodle contains at the moment, and you know that, of course, courses for different competence fields. So for the first one, the biggest one is of course the entrepreneurship course modules, and we have courses on personal competences, social competences, organizational competences, and we also have the self-assessment for competence-oriented learning and validation that you worked on after the course in Duisburg, Essen. In the social competences, by the way, we also find the intercultural competences course, and we have to understand this whole learning management system as a growing pool of learning units, and we would really encourage you also at a later stage to upload your materials into this section. However, I think our team did quite a big job in providing courses on entrepreneurial competences and social competences, and now the idea is that you can copy that to your institution as a kind of blueprint or whatever. You can translate it, you can translate them, you can directly use them, or of course you can also modify that as you like. Okay, so the jobs for the administrators are, you should take the institution's student groups that you find in your group panel, and you can either deliver the course or translate and modify these courses. And for the Moodle, you are asked to copy this one to your institution's area. Either you deliver it or translate and modify these courses. So what I just explained. How does this look like? How can you copy the courses? And there is a specific place where we place the copies of these courses, because Moodle works like that. You can save courses and you can store them locally on your computer, for instance, and then you can restore them. And we use this mechanism in combination with the mahara to provide you the general REBUS courses, and you can take them out of the mahara and place it on your institution in your REBUS Moodle. So the first step is to copy the Moodle courses, the 2 Moodle courses that we provided, from the mahara, and you click on mahara, the trainers group, and you find that in the file section, and there you find a folder Moodle, and you simply click on that one, and it opens the parent folder, and there you find a backup Moodle course for and the second backup Moodle course here as well. And what you can do then, or what you have to do, is to download this one from the cloud, let's say, on your local system, because from there you are going to upload it again and to import it in your institution in the Moodle. And then the courses are editable specifically for you. So how do you do that? We are still in mahara, and you simply switch again to the trainers group, and on the trainer you have this Moodle sign, which is the connection to Moodle, and either you come directly into this course section, or you have a login. And the little bit disturbing is always that you probably land on the starting page of the entrepreneurship course modules. This is not the place where it should be copied to, but it should be copied in your section. So for this purpose, you go back to the dashboard, you click here, and you arrive here on the dashboard, on your personal dashboard. You go back to site home, you click here, and then you arrive on the, let's say, on the index that is available for you. So you see here the REBUS trainers course with the modules, etc., etc., and then you see all your institutions like Sipsutis or UNSA or Volgatech or whatever. And here you also see my example institution. So I click on my institution. You should click on yours. You click on it, and you arrive here. on this page, this is, of course, your starting page of the course of, of the institution example. And it's empty, of course, because there's no course yet in it. So what you have to do is to click on this little wheel here, which gives you the properties. And if you click on that, you will get a drop-down menu, and here you find Restore Courses. And if you click on this one, you can, oh, where are we? Yes, you arrive at that page here, and you can choose a file, or you can drag and drop the files that you have stored locally on your computer, which is this Moodle backup, and you restore it into your institution. And then it is editable for you. So the next steps, because it's not as simple that you click on it, but you will get a number of, let's say, queries. But basically, you can always say click OK and proceed to all the following steps, because there are just questions on, you can select which kind of steps you want to restore or whatever. But if you just click on everything OK, you will be able to copy the whole thing to your computer, to your institution. So in the next live session, I will show you how this works, but this is basically the same in my institution called Example. And you find everything on the tutorials or the demonstrations that we already provided you with. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this is my live dashboard, and you see my groups here, the REBUS students, the REBUS student example group. So suppose you are the administrator of Sepsutis or of UNSA, you will see REBUS students UNSA, because you are the administrator. The administrators, as we explained last time, get this little tool key here. And this is because there you can also, as we said, administer your users or your groups and your institution. Okay, so back to the dashboard and our groups. What I wanted to show you is that what you find in the student example group, because you have here this thing that I showed you before. This is manage your learning project. This is what your students can also access. And if you click on this one, you will get a collection. Manage your learning projects, plan your project and develop your competences. Suppose you will send your students in the practice project. Then they should plan it, they should deliver it, they should do it, and they should check it. And this very simple 3-step procedure for their entrepreneurial project is also the subject of this learning unit. It consists of 5 steps. This is an introduction. The next step is your learning project. Plan your internship as a learning project. This is, again, an introduction. Explains a little bit, yeah, before the event. Plan it, while you do it, and after the project, check it. And in parallel, you have the competence validation with level 5, and here they could also get other information on that. Okay, the next step is, you may understand, or you may have expected that, the plan stage. So for the planning, they have, for instance, a REBUS learning project pattern. This is something that they can fill for their project, for their planning purpose. The next one is the doing phase. And here we only have a progress report form, but you could also use some tools that are provided in the ePortfolio, logbooks, for instance, to check the procedure of the project. But this is, of course, absolutely up to you. You can use what you want as tools that are available here in the REBUS learning environment. And the next page, the last page, is the check phase. There they evaluate their internship or their project or their practice project together with their competence development. So we have here the project evaluation, the learning project summary certificate, and then at the same time we would also have a link, or we would have the REBUS Learning Suite Part 2, which is actually a kind of offline form that leads further on into the level 5 certification. So that's it, basically what we have provided on the mahara part, and this is available for you, and you are able to administrate that. So you can work with this and change the content here. That was the mahara part. Now coming to the Moodle part. For that purpose, we go back to the dashboard, and remember what we wanted to do is to copy the courses that are available in the general part from Moodle into your specific institution, so that you can also modify that. So for this purpose, we go to the trainers area, and here you see the file section. If you click on that one, as I explained before, you will see the folder in Moodle, and there you see the backup Moodle for the entrepreneurship course modules and for the intercultural competences. And you can download the folder as a zip file. No, let me just check. I think I'm going to use simply this one. I would like to save that. Okay, it takes a little bit of time. Should have taken the other one, which is smaller. So I can show the downloads, and it's in my download folder. Okay. Okay, so now I have downloaded this file on my computer. As I said, good, let's go back now to Moodle. You find the link to Moodle here on your trainers group. We move over and you get a login. So that's what's happening. What's happening? You land on the REBUS Entrepreneurship course module, which is fine enough. On the other hand, you don't want to be here, and you want to go to your institution, and you find the institution on your dashboard and in the site home area, because here you find all the course categories, and the course categories are not only those general parts for REBUS trainers and REBUS students. Oh, excuse me. That was the wrong one. But also all institutions. And among them also my example institution where I want to import this course to. I click on example and I don't have anything here. So there's no course yet in here. So I will do that. I click on this one, on this properties, and I click on restore course. and I click on import a backup file. I choose a file from the download folder, and I hope that I find this file. Yes, that's the backup Moodle file. I open it and I upload this file. Again, this can take a while. And if I had known that, I would have told you a little story, but I don't have one. So the file eventually was installed, and it gives me now an option: backup Moodle, blah 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 blah, and let's restore that. So, and I see here a kind of procedure. I have to confirm it. I have to give it a destination. I can give them certain settings. I work with the scheme. I have to review it, process it, and then complete it. So these are the backup details, etc., etc. So what you can basically do is, here you can click on certain filters and you have the course details, etc., etc., and you see all the files that are the sub-files that are and the modules that are included here. You click on continue, and now you can restore it as a new course, and there you have to select your category. And you remember my institution was called example, so what I can do is to click on example and continue. This is the destination part here. Click on it. Okay, now there are the settings here. I have so many options, but they are all not relevant to us. So simply say next. There are other options here. I can select certain units that I want to import, and others I can deselect, but we want to have everything. So click on next again. And we are again already on review, etc., etc. Click on perform restore. And it will take some time, 730 seconds to restore it. So when it is successfully uploaded, restored successfully, I click on continue. And I see now that this course is included into my example institution. So let's go back and check if this is okay. On the dashboard, I find not only my courses, my institution courses, but also the courses of the whole REBUS project. I see them on site home, and they are organized in categories: REBUS trainers, REBUS students, our institutions, and among them also my example institution. And here you already see a little number 1. And if I expand that, or if I click on example, now I have the REBUS Entrepreneurship course module copy 1. Please click on the course title to access it. Zack. And there I have it. Now what you can do is simply, and this is important of course, again, you have on the right upper page area, you always have this property element, and then you can turn editing on. But this is Moodle, actually. This is Moodle, and if you don't know Moodle, just go to the very good tutorials that you find everywhere on the net. But you can turn editing on, and once you do that, you can edit everything. You can edit this one here, and you can simply overwrite it or whatever. But this is something which is beyond our training here. You can do everything with these course modules, what you want, what you find feasible for your learning, for your learners, for your learning setting. And once you have modified that, we will have different institutional sections on our REBUS system. And one last request: if you create new courses, which I would personally very much encourage, it would be great if you would also share that with us. And for this purpose, you go back to your site home, and later on, for instance, if you have a specific course on personal competences that you would like to share with us, you can also integrate it here. So be aware that this is really a kind of joint development and learning space, and it would be really great if at a certain time, I mean, we still have 2 years to go, nearly, we would create a growing pool of learning units on entrepreneurship education. Thank you very much for that.